Well, a huge thank you once again to Atlas VPN. I do really recommend you check out their latest deal down below, the Black Friday price cut, 86% off. It works out at just £1.40 per month, and you get 6 months extra. Atlas VPN created and developed by cyber security experts and IT engineers. The goal to make the internet more accessible and safe for everyone. Millions of users of Atlas VPN across the world. It stops ads, it stops malware, it blocks malicious links, ads and trackers, and notifies you when someone's trying to steal your data. This works across a range of devices, so do check out the Black Friday price cut. I'll put a link down below in the description of this video and in the top pinned comment. Well, an incredibly tumultuous time in Sweden, of course, where we've actually seen the Swedish government, the authorities, turn to the military to help combat violent gang crime. And of course, Sweden having still a relatively new Prime Minister in Ulf Kristersson, who is leading this three-party coalition, but also with support of the Sweden Democrats, who are not officially in the government, but are supporting it, and indeed secured the most support of any right-wing party at the last election, over 70 seats. Now, the agenda for the Swedish government was things like cutting fuel taxes, boosting defence, boosting spending on police. They're going ahead with new nuclear reactors, and at the same time slashing the green climate budget. As I recently pointed out, one of the most senior Sweden Democrats figures, MEP Charlie Weimers, now talking openly about a potential Swexit if the EU continues to consolidate power centrally, sucking it away from governments. And you've got now a situation in terms of border policy where that government has actually seen asylum applications go down 26%. You see there the leaders, the various leaders of the parties involved in supporting this government, the likes of Ulf Kristersson and Jimmy Åkesson, the leader of the Sweden Democrats, talking about this drop in asylum applications at the same time that you're actually seeing them rise across Europe by 30%. As for what could become the dominant party on the right in terms of Swedish politics, well, overall, Magdalena Andersson leading the left-wing Social Democrats, when it comes to the best PM, she actually leads 43%. But that is because support on the right is split between Ulf Kristersson, the current Prime Minister, and Jimmy Åkesson, the Sweden Democrats. But what's going on here is that you are actually seeing Jimmy Åkesson, it seems for the first time, the Sweden Democrats leader for the first time, actually preferred over the conservative Swedish Prime Minister. So 18% wanting Åkesson for PM versus 17% for the current Swedish PM, Ulf Kristersson. And among voters of the ruling coalition parties only there, you see Åkesson, the Sweden Democrats leader, is more popular now than the Swedish Prime Minister on 41% compared to 37% for Ulf Kristersson. Head of a polling institute in Sweden, they're saying this is partly because the Sweden Democrats are growing in public opinion and the Sweden Democrat voters want to see Jimmy Åkesson in office. But it is also, they say, because Ulf Kristersson has relatively weak support among Christian Democrats and liberals. When it comes to party voting intention there, you can see, again, a real split on the right. You've got the Social Democrats way out in front again on 38%, but that is because you can see there the right having a pretty major split there with the Sweden Democrats on 23%, actually way ahead of the party that the current Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson leads on 16%. But the Sweden Democrats, who are openly talking about Swexit, and their leader Jimmy Åkesson, clearly now seen by many voters in Sweden as the dominant party on the right in Swedish politics. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out and whether that makes Sweden in the long run more likely to leave the European Union or not. Let me know what you make of all of that in the comments below though, guys. I will keep bringing you all the latest on this and more, of course. So please do whack this video a quick thumbs up. And of course, as ever, cheers for watching.